Hey everyone, how you doing today? It's Vicious, and it is time to get some more Dungeon Defenders tutorials up on YouTube for you guys to check out. Been checking out my inbox and on the forums for my most requested, and it seems right now the most requested is some strategies and some builds for survival mode. And that's a really great request, because for people who are really going to bury down and get into the game and want to progress to the end game, survival mode's probably maybe going to be a necessary step for you at some point. You know, you progress through the difficulties, you progress into insane difficulty, and you can start doing insane challenges. But you're going to end up in one of two spots at the end game. You're going to end up in Uber Monster Fest and survival mode. And the problem with Uber Monster Fest is that there is no progression in difficulty. It starts off insanely freaking hard right off the bat. So if you're not already well geared, you're just going to get crushed. And so progressing to that, you're probably going to have to sell your soul to Trendy for a day and play 7 hours or more of survival. And not just you, but you're going to need some friends to do this as well. This is going to be one of those few tutorials where you just can't solo it. You can go so far, wave 15, wave 20, depending how good your gear is and how good your strategy of fighting is, but you're not going to beat this by yourself. I'm sure somebody out there could beat it, but you know, normally you wouldn't be able to. For survival mode, the de facto standard right now is the Alchemy Lab on mixed mode on insane difficulty. Mixed mode makes it more challenging, but it gives you much better loot. Alchemy Laboratory is good because it has no ogres and no wyverns, so you just have to worry about the ground stuff. I'm going to be using a trap huntress. Let me show you my stats. Your stats don't have to be this great, but the higher they are, the better. Trust me. You're going to be using a hero of your choice. In my case, I'll be using my DPS Huntress because I have a really good super loot crystal tracker, which is good to have on this map. And I'll go ahead and show you her stats, I guess, just in case you're curious. And we're going to use a monk. We're always going to need our tower monk. And his current stats right now are here. And that's all we're going to need for the building stuff. What I also, in addition, highly recommend is you get yourself either a really good fairy for healing your hero, so you can stay alive and kill the mobs, or get yourself a apprentice guardian, one that has enough upgrades, like 36 upgrades or so, so that you can get the +4 tower boost and boost your towers, because your Inferno Traps and your proxy traps and stuff will do a lot of damage. And the way it works, I'll show you when we get in the game here. So we'll start off with the monk. And I'm not going to be playing until I die, because that would make like for a 6-hour long video, and that'd be totally pointless. And my hard drive would just crash because I'd run out of hard drive space. So we're just going to do campaign Alchemical Laboratory Insane, and I'll go ahead and do mix mode. What? Where is mix mode? Survival mode. Mix. I recommend you start at wave 1. You can skip right up to wave 8, and that's fine for non-mix. But if you go straight into wave 8 on mix mode, especially solo, you're going to get your face melted off by ninjas. So I suggest you not do that. So it'll take you a little bit more time, but this is going to allow you to get your defenses up a little bit more safely. It's also going to allow you to get your stuff upgraded before some of the serious mayhem starts. Mixed mode is no joke. I tried going straight into wave 8 once, and I was like, I got this. I got super loot. I'm all geared up, and had about 50 ninjas jump my freaking shit, and it was, yeah. Oops, sorry. I try not to say bad words in tutorials, but that one slipped out. Alright. So we're going to be putting ensnare auras and electric auras stacked on top of each other. Depending how big your aura size is, you can put it right where I just put it, on the top up here, and it's going to kind of let it come a little bit farther down these stairs and a little bit farther up this way. If your aura is a little bit smaller than mine, then go ahead and put it right here on the floor instead, because you want it to still stay close enough that your wall, when it goes up, is going to be having the aura close to it. And I could have put a better ped on, honestly, but oh well. And then for the first wave only, until I get enough mana, I'm going to be putting the ensnare and electric here in the center, because we don't have enough mana to place 4 more auras like I'm going to have for the final build. So we'll go ahead and get started, get some mana income here. I'm probably actually starting out. I normally start at like wave 3 or 4. I probably could have actually put the auras in their permanent place. Yeah, check this out. You got kobolds, you got skeletons. Get some pretty crazy stuff on mixed mode. The skeletons are quite a mean treat because they take like what, 3 kills to actually finally put them down. Alright, got those guys out of the way. Yeah, and I just saw a ninja die. Okay. Now we can go ahead and sell off these auras. I'm going to show you the permanent placement. Right here where the treasure chest is, right center in front of the spawn, we're going to put an electric aura as close as you possibly can before it will phase out. But then over to the side, we're going to be putting an ensnare aura about right here in front of those little cases. I got it in such a way that it's pretty much covering all of this through area here. You can move it farther over towards the corner if you'd like, but I want to keep it integrated with the electrical aura so that they get stuck longer in that field. And I'm going to show you an alternate real quick over here. This is one of those your choice things. You can put it like this and then just back it up about right here. What this does is it gives you electric right outside of spawn, and then gives the enemies enough room to move out into it before they start getting snared. And because of the location, enemies that are going to be moving in this direction towards your center will get snared and take some electrical damage. But what's going to be the trade-off for this is the enemies going this way are not going to be snared when they get to your Inferno Trap. And since I like to focus all my hero DPS at the front, I trade off a little bit of extra damage from the electric aura to have more damage going to the mobs going to the rear direction. Alright. We're going to need a strength drain aura right up here in front of the forge. And we're going to need a strength drain aura here as well. We want our walls to be incredibly robust. These strength drain auras are going to be necessary to make that happen. And we'll switch over now to the Black Knight. My squire. I forgot to show you his stuff. Here's what my squire specs are. My squire is pretty much just the wall guy. That's pretty much all he does. So we're going to put a spike blockade here. It's definitely worth it to sacrifice a few DPS towers to have spike barricades instead of mage walls. They have a larger surface area, so you have less chance of things slipping through, and have tons more HP, especially once upgraded. And you'll need it, trust me. All right, there's our walls in place, and let's get the trap huntress out. Here's what we're doing for traps. Somewhere around here, we're going to put a proximity mine. This guy's going to do tons of damage. Everything that floods in from here and up there is going to have to walk into this, and it has a nice radius doing lots of damage to the mobs before they go into these fields, and then that can whittle down what little bit of HP they have left. We're going to be putting an Inferno Trap. Right about there is good. Same thing for the other side. And placing it so that the fire reaches to the other side of the barricade, just in case a ninja hops on the other side. He'll be taking damage from the Inferno Trap. And then we're going to come over here. Inferno Trap. Let's see. Right there. And now you see what I mean. That Inferno Trap is significantly inside of this ensnare aura. So anything going backwards is going to have to get through the electric aura and the Inferno Trap before they get around to the back. And if they just so happen to survive, there's going to be a proximity mine waiting for them. The reason for this really strong rear defense is so that you can kind of stay hands off and focus on the front without having to run back and forth constantly. Running back and forth is what's going to aggro the ninjas, cause you a lot of problems, and possibly your loss. The people dying from their crystals self-destructing is generally because of a stray fireball or a stray arrow, and that happens because you're moving around and about. If you just stay in this center area and fight, or if you're going to do what I'm going to show you in a minute, I'm going to show you a little trick that I like, then you'll be good to go and not have your crystals self-destruct. And the last of our defense units is going to go for a Inferno Trap. Right there. Just a little bit more damage. This is kind of an optional Inferno Trap. You can do some other stuff with that DU if you'd like. But I'd like to get the extra burning damage. So we're all maxed out, 85 out of 85. So here's the thing. I told you you can't solo this. I recommended a fairy and a apprentice guardian, but if you've got friends, you should be playing with like 2 other people. Here's what you want to do. Run and jump up here. Up here, you're totally safe from all enemies, pretty much, and you're not going to have to worry about anything, but your apprentice guardian will boost the damage of that Inferno Trap, the proxy mine, and the other Inferno Trap, or possibly the strength drain aura. There will be so much damage from that alone that you can pretty much AFK till wave 20 if you have good tower stats. Get your second friend to get up here with a monk guardian, and he will boost the range of all of these towers so that your Inferno Traps reach almost all the way over there. It's like an insane wall of fire. Get your third buddy up here with either an imp or a engineer, and he will automatically, if he stands kind of back here, it can automatically repair the walls and all the traps and auras. We did this, and we seriously were able to pretty much AFK until wave 20. No joking. Make sure you upgrade your proxy because that's the one that goes down the fastest. The Inferno Traps really last quite a while. And that's pretty much it for the tutorial. I guess I'll just play out a few waves for you guys, just so you can see the build in action. I used to love to put proxy mines on these walls, but I decided to bulk off the rear defense and not put proxies here. What would sometimes happen is proxy can actually kill an enemy, or not kill an enemy I should say, and send it flying over towards your crystal. I have not really seen it happen to me that I know of, but I have heard it and seen it happen to others. The cool thing here as well is if I wanted to, I could stay on my tower builder because I'm so safe from the enemies, and get that 33% boost to tower damage. Did I put this on insane? I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, well, just keep in mind that it gets much harder. Enemies get progressively stronger. They get much faster. The Inferno Traps, when they're like this, they chain. So if one of them trips, they all trip. So it makes sure that the damage is always going. Once they're upgraded, they're going to do tons of damage. Right now it already ticks for 2,443. Alright. One more wave. Why not? Went through all the trouble to get it set up. We might as well watch it kill stuff. 3,227 now. At some point, about like wave 20, you might want to go ahead and just sell the ensnares and throw down an enrage aura here in the center, because the enemies get so fast at that point that they don't even act like there's an ensnare aura there. They just run right through it like it's not even there. But the enrage aura will cause them to stop and fight each other, and that will hold them up right here in the middle of your proxy and Inferno. And again, remember, you can repair this stuff from right up here, nice and safe, in this unaggroable area. Hopefully the video doesn't get that area patched as an exploit, because I don't really consider it an exploit. It's just a creative use of game mechanics is what it is. So it looks like my guy's choosing to buff the proxy. Let's see how much damage the proxy does. If I can get it to, there we go. 60,000 damage. When it's fully upgraded, it's almost 100,000 damage. And apply the Strength Drain Aura, which is really good. You can see that it lowers it down to 7%, and it's not upgraded yet. That pretty much means these walls don't die. And just last patch, they reduced the damage that the ninjas do to the walls by like 50%, which was pretty much the majority of the damage the walls sustained. So it should be even easier now to beat this. So just buy yourself like a 24 pack of beer, because it's going to be a long day. Call off work, call off school, call off wife and kids, and play Dungeon Defenders for 7 hours. Then you can have super loot like me. And then you can start to play Uber Monster Fest and get even better loot in a quicker period of time. But this is probably going to be where you're going to be progressing. Actually, I take that back. There's one option I should mention. Player shops are now live. So don't forget that you can just farm mana. And actually survival mode is a pretty good way to get mana. And buy some stuff at player shops, which might be a much wiser idea. Unless you really want to do this. I mean, I'm not telling you guys not to do it. I just personally don't really like survival mode. So the tutorial's done. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like the content of the videos, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up to say thanks. If you want to make sure you stay in touch with me and get the new videos when they're released, then subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the feedback you guys give me, all the thanks, and I'll see you guys next time in the next videos.